Okay, y'all, let's discuss 15 styles that are selling really fast for me right now on Poshmark and eBay. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is MOGIBETH. I'm coming to you from Austin, Texas. I'm outside, so you might hear some birds in the background. But for those of y'all who are new here, I own a six-figure reselling business selling women's clothing on platforms like Poshmark and eBay. We are halfway through 2021. Can you believe it? It's just flying by. It's insane. So I thought it would be only appropriate to look back over my sales over the past 6 months and look at what is selling really quickly for me in the year of 2021. I love these types of videos. I love making them. I love watching them because as a reseller, it's important to know that what is in demand is always changing. It's really important to stay on top of this information, and for me the very best way to do so is through research, and that's why I commit a whole module to research in my Poshmark reseller course, which if you're interested, I'll link that down below. But I think videos like this are also a really good launching point, a really fun, informative way to stay up to date as well. But I will say this, and this is true for any video like this is obviously subject to a lot of selection bias, meaning this list is comprised of only items that I've selected or I have purchased. It's not representative of a large enough sample size for it to be the 15 best overall quick selling items on Poshmark. However, we have sold over 2,300 items this year, which is exciting. So this is not a teeny tiny sample size by any means, but I just wanted to put that out there that research is of course gonna be your best friend, but this is a great place to start. Okay, so for this video, I went through all of my sales and sorted it by the days it took to sell. And I only looked at items that had taken less than 30 days to sell, and I only included items on here that I had sold at least twice within 30 days. I also tried to really look mainly at thrifted items that I've sold, but I also included some items that I had bought at buy-sell trade stores, retail arbitrage, and liquidation. And if you're curious about liquidation, I've done a video on it recently. I'll link it up on the screen. But I'm really excited to share my findings with y'all. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and let's jump into it. Okay, so for the first style that is doing really well for me right now, it is Vuori. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's V-U-O-R-I. Vuori leggings. This is an athletic wear brand that must have a cult following because whenever I find these at the thrift store and I list them, they sell really quickly. And for each of these ones, I'm going to share with you the examples of items that I've sold. So the first is a pair of Vuori high-rise seamless leggings in heather gray that I thrifted. I listed for $45 over on Poshmark. They sold to an offer to liker for $36 with $4.99 shipping with that $2.46 shipping discount, and it literally sold the same day I was listed, so that was fabulous. And then the other Vuori leggings was a pair of racer high-rise side stripe leggings. Oftentimes I cannot find the cover photo for these, which is totally fine. It really seems to sell well regardless. I had these listed for $55. They sold from an offer from a buyer for $40 with no discounted shipping, and that sold after 24 days, which is still really great. So whenever I find this style in the thrift store in good or excellent condition, I pick it up, and I've had nothing but really good experience with it. Hope y'all don't mind the birds a little bit. So the next style is Spanx leggings or jeggings, and I think I've talked about this particular category and style a bunch on this channel, but in case you didn't know, this is a category or style that does really well. I think the demand is tapering off a little bit, but what I can tell you is that larger sizes do better than smaller sizes on average, and that the moto leggings tend to do really well. But I want to give you a couple examples. So the first was a Spanx distressed ankle skinny jeans in medium wash that were size XL. I thrifted these. I listed them for $75 and I sold them for $55 after 1 day. So I feel like that's a really good example of Spanx jeggings doing really well. And then I also had a pair of Spanx faux leather coated moto leggings These I also had listed for $75 and they sold for $50 with no shipping discount in 14 days. So just 2 weeks, which is really great. Okay, the next style is Barefoot Dreams, and I was gonna say just their sweaters, but really I've discovered that their dresses do well as well. So I'm just putting Barefoot Dreams as a bolo brand and a bolo style in, I think, virtually every category that I've tried. So the first is this Barefoot Dreams milk jersey caftan that I thrifted, and I had it listed for $85 and it sold to an offer for $52 with no discounted shipping after just 2 days. That's pretty good. Okay, the next was a Barefoot Dreams cozy chic zip plush hoodie that I also thrifted. I listed it for $65 and sold it for $47 within 7 days. So I love finding Barefoot Dreams. It's been a little while since I found it, but it tends to do well for me every single time I do. Okay, so the next brand is Yummie by Heather Thompson. It's no longer owned by Heather Thompson. I don't watch Real Housewives of New York, but she is from there. If you all do, let me know in the comments down below the evolution of this brand. But this brand, whenever I list it, I just get a lot of attention and it sells rather quickly. So 2 examples. The first is this Yummie by Heather Thompson Peyton convertible bra. It sold in a bundle after just 2 days, and it was listed for $35 and it sold somewhere in the range of $25. And then the next is an item that I thrifted and it sold on eBay, but when I thrifted it, it was new at tag, which was great. And it was a pair of faux leather leggings with an ankle side zip, and I listed that for $58 and sold it for $43.50 over on eBay after 23 days. So this is a brand that I look out for in the thrift store, and especially if it's in excellent or new condition. I mean, that was awesome. It's sold on places like Revolve, like Shopbop, like Nordstrom. So a lot of people are interested in this brand, and there must be some sort of following for it. Okay, so the next is Everlane, and particularly 2 styles or categories. The first is the straight leg crop pants, and then the second is jeans. And I have a bunch of examples of what I mean, so I'm really just going to go through it because I feel like looking through these examples is kind of the best way to assess demand. So I'm first going to start with the straight leg crop pants. I sold one in the color sandstone that I thrifted, and I listed it for $60 and it sold for $48 with discounted shipping after 0 days. So the same day. And then the same went for another pair of the same style in olive green. I also thrifted that, also listed for $60, also sold for $48 with discounted shipping after 0 days. So the same day that I listed it. So I was actually on Poshmark looking up this particular style, and I couldn't find any in my size, which is always a good sign, because if the sold to available ratio is really high in terms of sold and very few available, that's a good sign. Next is jeans. So I don't know if y'all remember, but I actually did my very first TikTok where I went to the thrift store and found a ton of Everlane jeans. It was just like Everlane heaven in that Goodwill that day. If you don't follow me on TikTok, make sure you do. I'm posting content more regularly over there, but I'm just gonna go through really quickly all of the jeans that I have sold within 30 days. So the first is a new at tag Everlane curvy cheeky jean that I thrifted, which was lucky, and I listed it for $70 and it sold for $50 with discounted shipping within 2 days. The second is Everlane high-rise slim straight cigarette jeans that I also thrifted. I listed these for $50 and they sold for $35 after 4 days. Next I had Everlane the high-rise ankle skinny jean in a size 28, and I listed these for $50. They sold for $40 with discounted shipping after 5 days. Next, Everlane the curvy stretch high-rise skinny jean, also thrifted, that I listed for $50 and they sold for $35 with discounted shipping after 8 days. Next, Everlane authentic stretch high-rise skinny jean, also thrifted. I listed for $45 and they sold for $30 with discounted shipping after 9 days. And lastly, Everlane the high-rise skinny ankle jean in indigo size 30 that I thrifted, and I had listed for $50 and they sold for $35 after 21 days. So as you can see, Everlane jeans, they they don't sell for a ton of money. They're not like, you know, Mother or another brand that we're going to talk about later, but they sell quickly and reliably. So I like to pick them up, especially at the thrift store if they're in excellent condition. So I've heard from some of y'all that some of the other styles by Everlane don't do as well. I don't think dresses do as well, and some others, maybe tops and t-shirts, don't do as well, but their jeans and their pants do really well, especially if you get the right styles. And I find their shoes do really well, their bags of course do really well, and their outerwear does really well. Okay, the next one on this list is recent season Zara pieces. And I know that's somewhat vague and generalized, but I just wanted to give you my experience when it comes to Zara. Zara is somewhat similar to Everlane in the sense that it doesn't sell for a ton of money, but for me, if you get a recent style piece, it sells quickly. And I'm just really quickly going to pop up a picture of the tag, the more recent tag that I look for when I'm choosing whether to pick up Zara or not. If it has that tag, then I typically look up comps. And I think you almost always have to look up comps when it comes to Zara. But I want to give you some examples of what has sold really quickly by Zara. And hopefully that will help give you kind of a general direction of what kind of Zara pieces to look for, because Zara of course is a brand that a lot of us come across in the thrift store often. So first is a Zara midi printed button-up shirt dress that I thrifted. I listed it for $80 and it sold for full price $80 with shipping discount after 1 day. That's great. Okay, and then next is a Zara ribbed knit bodysuit with tulle trim. I got both of these, and I think another one or maybe two on this list when I went to Goodwill, and someone had donated a bunch of recent season pieces and a size large, I believe. They were all around a size large, and so there were like over a dozen Zara pieces there. I ended up taking, I think, 5 or 6 after checking comps on everything. Next was a new attack Zara inverted lapel frock coat in green, size medium. I thrifted this on a completely separate occasion than the one I mentioned earlier. I listed it for $75 and it sold to an offer for $45 after 3 days. Next on the Zara list is a Zara satin lace button-up camisole slip dress that I had also thrifted. I had listed it for $45 because it did have a couple of flaws, and it sold for $30 after 9 days. Next was a Zara silver puff sleeve belted sequin dress that I thrifted, and I listed it for $60 and it sold for $40 with discounted shipping after 21 days. Next is a new tag Zara Basics high waist trouser with belt in a red color, and this was a blogger favorite, which is definitely a keyword that you want to include in Zara if it is a blogger favorite. I thrifted it and had it listed for $50 and it sold for $35 after 23 days. And then last was a Zara faux vegan leather moto jacket that I thrifted and had listed for $65, and then it sold for $45 with discounted shipping after 27 days. So I like selling Zara. I know a lot of resellers say they don't like selling Zara, but you really got to look for recent pieces. You really got to look for pieces that have some kind of unique factor that would be worth seeking out, because there are a lot of people who love their Zara and they're typically trend conscious, so they're looking for items that are on trend, that are recent, that have, you know, been in stores somewhat recently. And if you're able to find those, they sell quickly. Okay, next on the list is Madewell shoes, bags, and accessories. Y'all know I love selling Madewell denim. I probably talk about it in every Thrift With Me video ever. But I really have found that the shoes, bags, and accessories sell really fast. So I'm going to give you 4 examples, and these are all items that I've thrifted. So the first is Madewell, the Francis leather almond toe loafer in a size 7.5. I actually thrifted these at the Goodwill bins. That was in one of my bins videos. I'll link it up on the screen if I can remember it. And they were in a pristine condition. It was such a lucky find. I had them listed for $75 and they sold for $60 with discounted shipping after 2 days. The next is a pair of Madewell the Thea sandal in an embossed orange leather, and I thrifted these as well. They were listed for $40, sold for 20% off $32 with discounted shipping after 2 days as well. Then the next is a new tag Madewell Mesa straw packable sun hat that I thrifted, new tag, which was great. And I listed that for $30 and it sold to an offer 20% off again, $24 with discounted shipping after 3 days. And then lastly was a Madewell the Marin True Black Leather Stitch Bag, which I thrifted. I had it listed for $100 and it sold to an offer for $75 after 6 days. So I always look for Madewell. I'm thinking Madewell is top of mind when I'm in the shoes, accessories, belts, hats section, because they just make really well constructed shoes in my opinion, and in my experience I really love Madewell shoes and bags and accessories, and so a lot of people really seek them out on the reseller marketplace. We're on number 8, maternity wear, and y'all know I talk about maternity wear a lot on this YouTube channel. I love selling maternity wear, and so I want to give you a few examples of different brands and styles that have sold quickly for me. First is Madewell. It's a pair of new with tag Madewell maternity side panel skinny jeans in a size 26. I had thrifted these and I listed them for $75 and they sold to an offer for $65 after just 3 days. Next was a new Ingrid and Isabel Empire waist maternity maxi dress. This is something that I did receive in a liquidation palette. I had it listed for $40 and it sold for $25 with discounted shipping after just 6 days, which is great. Next was a brand that I talked about in a thrift with me, and it was a pair of Blanky or Blanky, but I'm gonna go with Blanky denim maternity support skinny jeans. These did have a flaw, or else I would have got more for them. I had them listed for $35. They sold for $30 with discounted shipping after just 7 days. I was really happy with that. Next was a new with tag Angel maternity crochet trim nursing robe, which I was like, oh, this is not going to sell fast. It's a robe. I got it from liquidation, but I had it listed for $30 and it sold with a 20% off, offers to likers for $24 with discounted shipping after 9 days. So hey, if it has maternity in the name, I think it really increases the search volume. So the last maternity is a brand that I love talking about, and I get a lot of DMs about this brand because some of y'all have heard about this brand from me, but it's Hatch. I love Hatch, and I sold this Hatch Layers maternity t-shirt dress that I thrifted for, I had it listed for $50 and it sold for $40 after 27 days. So yeah, I love selling maternity, and I think really what I look for when it comes to maternity is certain brands. So I do a lot of research on bolo brands within maternity wear, but also jeans. I spend a decent amount in the jeans section just because that is something that a lot of pregnant women wear often, as we all wear jeans often, but it's something that they need kind of now. There's a sense of urgency to trying to get something that can fit over their belly that they can wear on a day-to-day basis. So most of the maternity jeans I come across in the thrift store are Target brand and I pass over them, but whenever I see a new brand that seems to be high quality, I look it up. And I've sold frame maternity jeans, and I've sold other designer Current Elliott maternity jeans, and those do really well as well. So, you know, just don't skip on maternity. Okay, the next on this list is Icebreaker. So this is, I'm just saying, Icebreaker the brand. And that is because everything I've ever listed by Icebreaker has sold quickly. So the first item on this list is a new Icebreaker merino wool tank top. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna do as well as the pants or some other category, but no, I had it listed for $45, tank top for $45, and it sold for 20% off, $36 with discounted shipping after 3 days. I can't think of another tank top that I've sold in my life that sold so quickly and for such good money. So I was very happy about that. Icebreaker is an outdoors wear brand, so they make high quality layering pieces, which is very popular with, you know, people who like to do outdoor activities. So it's a great category to do research in, and this is a great brand to know. So the next is a new with tag Icebreaker lily pant. I actually thrifted these, even though they're new with tag. I had them listed for $85, but I received an offer for $50 after 6 days, and I accepted it. So I was really happy with that sale. And then the last one is an item that I actually got at the Goodwill bins, and that is, I think, in the same video where I found those Madewell loafers. So if you're interested, be sure to watch that video. But this was an Icebreaker merino loft Stratus long sleeve jacket, and I had it listed for $150 and it sold for $100 after 18 days. So that is a great sale, especially since I had such low cost of goods getting it from the bins. It was amazing. I love when that happens. Okay, the next item on this list is a brand you probably come across in the thrift store from time to time, and it's Lulu's. I find that Lulu sells fairly quickly, especially right now because wedding season is back on. People are going to events, people are getting dressed up, life is, you know, turning back on throughout this country. So I had a long list of Lulu's dresses that had sold within 30 days. So I narrowed it down to 5 that I wanted to share with y'all. Some of these were thrifted and some of them are from liquidation. But for whatever reason, I tend to find a lot of new with tag Lulu's in the thrift store. So that's also a great find, and it definitely increases the resale value if I can find it new with tag. Okay, so the first one was a Lulu's new with tag V-neck chiffon A-line ruched gown in black. And really the gowns and the maxi dresses are going to have the highest resale value with this brand. So I had it listed for $75 and it sold for $60 from an offer to like her after 3 days. Next was a new with tag Lulu's Going Steady backless skater dress in white that I had listed for $38 and it sold full price for $38 with discounted shipping after only 6 days. Next was a new with tag Lulu's Lille Emerald Satin Smocked Midi dress. I also think I showed this in a TikTok, I think, and listed it for $45 and it sold for $31. 30% off after 10 days. Next was a new Lulu's Infinite Glory Stretch Knit Maxi dress, which again, maxi dresses do great. I had it listed for $75. It sold for $60 with discounted shipping after 13 days. And then last was a new with tag Lulu's Own the Night strapless maxi dress in red that I had listed for $65. It sold to an offer to like her for $52 with discounted shipping after 15 days. So don't sleep on Lulu's. I still really like picking up Lulu's in the thrift store because, again, like Everlane, like Zara, it may not sell for a ton of money. Well, I mean, the maxi dresses sell for good money, but Lulu's dresses in general may not sell for a ton of money, but they do tend to sell rather quickly, so you'll get a return on your investment fairly fast, which is always good. Alright, number 11 on the list is Agolde Jeans, and these are all new with tag recent style Agolde jeans, which of course are going to be the best selling type of Agolde jean that you can get. And so I wanted to include these in case you do come across a retail arbitrage opportunity or some kind of liquidation or wholesale opportunity. But Agolde jeans used condition also sell really well. Typically right now the rigid denim is going to sell better, and rigid denim is 100% cotton denim, but I still have had really good experiences with their stretch denim. So if you can get it for the right price, I think it still might be worth picking up. But all of these rigid denim, recent style, new with tag Agolde jeans have sold really well, so I really wanted to include it on the list. So the first was a pair of new with tag Agolde 90s mid-rise loose fit jeans, and I had them listed for $195. They sold to an offer for $150 with discounted shipping after 5 days. Great fast return. The next was a pair of new with tag Agolde Sophie high-rise skinny crop jeans. I had them listed for $90 and they sold for $70 with discounted shipping after 6 days. And then the last one was a pair of new with tag Agolde Jamie high-rise classic jeans that I had listed for $175 and they sold to an offer for $111 after 14 days, 2 weeks. So I was very happy with all 3 of those sales, and I think Agolde is just probably on my top 10 BOLO list. I always am looking for Agolde. I love selling that brand. Okay, the next is also denim. So number 12 is Levi's rigid denim. And again, what I mean is 100% cotton. I tend to pass on the skinny jeans, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't sell quickly. When I check comps, I don't tend to want to pick them up every time that I come across them in the thrift store. But with their rigid denim, 100% cotton or 99% cotton denim, I think of the ribcage jean, the wedgie jean, the 501s, etc., and those tend to do really well for me. So there are actually 4 examples on here that I want to share with you. The first is a pair of new with tag Levi's 501 denim shorts in white. I had these listed for $58 and they sold to an offer for $40 after 4 days. The next was a pair of Levi's Wedgie Icon Fit jeans that I had thrifted, and I had these listed for $60 and they sold to an offer for $43 after just 7 days, 1 week. Next was a new attack Levi's Farm Rio collaboration that I actually purchased at a buy-sell trade store that had listed for $100 and received an offer for $67 after just 11 days that I accepted. And then the last was a pair of new attack Levi's 501 denim shorts, again, that I had listed for $65. They sold for $40 after just 19 days. So I love finding and selling Levi's rigid denim, especially shorts and jeans, high-rise jeans especially. Okay, next on the list is a specific style. It's the Tadashi Shoji sheath dress. Tadashi Shoji is an evening wear brand that specializes in especially weddings, so they create a lot of mother of the bride dresses and bridal dresses and so forth. But one style that I come across fairly frequently at the thrift store that sells quickly for me is the sheath dresses, and I think especially because it's a really great mother of the bride dress. So I'm going to give you 2 examples of what I mean by this. The first is a Tadashi Shoji two-tone lace belted sheath dress in an 8 petite that I thrifted, and I had it listed for $125 and it sold for $70 after 14 days. The next is a Tadashi Shoji embroidered sheath dress in a size 12 that I had listed for $100 and it sold for $70 after 24 days. So again, I think I mentioned this earlier, in 2021 a lot of backlogged weddings are back on right now, and so this is a brand that I'm especially looking out for. There are several other brands like this, but I just tend to find kind of a knee length Tadashi Shoji lace dress, and the sheath style tends to do well, especially not in super small sizes, so kind of like size 6 and up. Okay, the next on this list is Gymshark, which if you watched my last bins to consignment video, I actually found Gymshark there, which was great, and of course Crossroads took it, but it actually sells really well and really quickly. So the first is a Gymshark seamless cropped legging in the color beet that I had listed for $40 and it sold for $32, 20% off with discounted shipping after 9 days. And then the next is a Gymshark floor texture washed gym set. So I actually found the top and the bottom that I wanted to sell together, and I thrifted both of them, which was such a lucky find. I think I included that in a thrift with me at some point. I had it listed for $80 and it sold for $60 after 29 days. So I really like finding Gymshark activewear. It's a brand that just does really well for me. Okay, so the very last one, the very last style on this list is overalls, and I am constantly on the lookout for overalls. Overalls still sell really well. I think they sell especially well in the summertime for whatever reason, especially the short overalls, but all year round I like to sell overalls. And the first is a pair of new Free People wash denim skinny overalls in white. I had these listed for $90. They sold full price for $90 after 20 days, and these weren't a super recent style, but they still sold quickly and for good money after just 20 days. So I really like selling Free People overalls still. It's something that I just have had really good experience with over the years, and it still seems to perform well. Okay, and the last item is a Madewell petite skinny denim overalls, which I also found in a thrift with me that I did here on YouTube. I thrifted these and I paid up for them, but it was worth it because I listed them for $90 and they sold for $72 after 30 days. So that concludes my 15 styles that are selling really fast for me in 2021 right now. Let me know in the comments down below which one of these styles you agree with, that you've had a really good experience with, and also I want to hear if you disagree with me about any of these styles based off your experience, because it's always just a great place to learn in the comments section of all of these videos. Y'all are really bringing a lot of knowledge and I'm learning so much, so thank you. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Love y'all. Bye!